the easy 30 minutes English daily routine to reach the C1 level. Now, I'm here to tell you that your study routine is most likely a complete waste of time. And I'm being dead serious. If you're just watching Netflix, scrolling through random applications, and doing other random things, you're probably confusing being busy with actually being productive. And you can be sure by giving random spurts of effort, you will receive random results. And this is one of the main reasons why you are stuck at the intermediate level and you are not making any real progress in getting towards the C1 level. In this video, I'll show you what a truly effective 30-minute per day study plan should look like. This is the exact system that will increase your level of English so you don't have to guess anymore. Now, first of all, it is crucial that you understand why quality is way more important than quantity. So I was helping a nice young lady with her English. For the sake of this story, let's call her Jane. Plain Jane. Now, Jane was simply doing average things every single day. She spent hours doing average things to improve her English. She was the epitome. She was the classic example of someone who was just stuck at the intermediate level and not really going anywhere. And because Plain Jane spent several hours a day doing average things, guess what? She got average results. Now, the study schedule of Jane was pretty much like this. She would spend about 30 minutes on Duolingo. She would watch her favorite different series on Netflix in English with English subtitles just about every day. And then she would also just read social media posts in English too. Now, the drills that I just mentioned are not necessarily bad for an absolute beginner to do, but when you're stuck at the intermediate level and you're really trying to get up to the advanced levels of English, you're going to need to do more than what I just described. And the solution to the problem of being stuck at the intermediate level is just a simple 3-step process. Step number 1, you will simply need to identify the skills that you need to improve the most in English. Step 2, you need to strategically schedule quality time to work on the skills that you need to improve upon the most. And then step number 3, you need to apply these skills and practice them effectively, because believe me, there are good drills and there are very bad drills for learning specific skills and developing specific skills in the English language. So let's break this down a little bit more. Step number 1, how are you going to identify the skills that you need to work on the most? Some of you have already taken English level tests in the past, so you should have a general idea of where your strong points are in English and where your weak points are in English, and what your overall level currently is. If you don't know what your current level of English is, I've created a resource for you to go and audit your English. To audit your English simply just means to test your current level of English in this context. If you want to go find out what your current level of English is and get some personalized feedback for what you need to improve on the most, I will leave a link somewhere to that in the description or the pinned comment below. And once you find out what your current level of English is and what you need to improve upon the most, then you will need to allocate most, if not all of your time during studying hours to focus on those specific skills. If you're watching this and if you're at one of the intermediate levels, then the skill that you need to work on the most to get to the advanced level will most likely be speaking. And this leads to step number 2, which is you need to strategically schedule quality time for you to study and focus on these specific skills. Something that you want to avoid is studying these skills passively, like when you're driving or commuting on the bus, or maybe when you're in the gym working out and you're kind of half listening to a podcast, but you're not fully listening. It doesn't have your undivided attention. This is something that you want to avoid. You want to avoid passively studying while you're multitasking and doing other things. Now, it will not hurt you to passively learn and multitask. It's not a bad thing. But if you really want to get the most out of your time, and if you want your study hours to be the highest quality study hours and the most focused study hours, and if you really want to see results, I'd recommend that you give it your undivided attention and just focus on studying and doing nothing else during that time. So, for the example of speaking, let's say you're at the intermediate level and the skill you need to work on the most is your speaking and conversation skills. Strategically, choose a time in the day where you will be alone and you'll actually be able to focus on speaking aloud and working on your pronunciation, whether that means using the shadowing technique or whether that means actually simulating real conversations with yourself or other fluent or native English speakers. The same thing goes for listening. Find a time when you'll be alone and you can really focus in and just watch a YouTube video from start to finish in English without any distractions around you, or listen to a full podcast without any distractions around you and really, really focus on your listening skills. And never forget, this doesn't have to take you a long time. You can literally schedule 30 minutes or less to just watch a 10-minute YouTube video and then express your opinion on it. Right there, you worked on your listening skills and your speaking skills and potentially also your reading and writing skills in less than 30 minutes easily. It could even be shorter than this. Simply when you take a shower before you go to bed, for the 5 minutes you're in the shower or for the 10 minutes you're in the shower, you can just practice expressing yourself. Just ask yourself some simple, open-ended questions like, how was your day? How did you feel today? And just answer it. Just talk out loud when you're in the shower for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It can really be as simple as that. Or you can even watch a YouTube short. That's a 30-second clip. Watch the 30-second clip and then express your opinion about what you just watched aloud. That is a drill that you can do to improve your speaking and your listening in literally less than 1 minute. And now the third step, which is the most important one, is that you apply your skills effectively. Now, by doing drills that exercise all of your skills at once, it can help. It's not a bad thing to do, but you will see progress in one skill if you use a drill that focuses on that one skill alone. For example, an efficient drill that I actually recommend would be to watch a YouTube video, think about it, form an opinion on it, write that opinion out on the notes application on your phone or on a computer, express your opinion, express your thoughts about the video you just watched, then read your thoughts, and then practice speaking it out loud. Throughout doing that exercise, by watching the video with the subtitles, you will have worked on your reading, vocabulary, grammar, and listening all at the same time. And then by articulating your thoughts in a written format, you would have been working on your writing skills. And then by actually expressing those thoughts after you've collected them, you would be working on your speaking skills. You essentially just worked on all of your skills at once in one drill. And if you choose to use the shadowing technique as you're watching the video, then you're also working on your pronunciation skills all in one efficient exercise. Now, this exercise has helped me and it's helped many other people when they've had to learn a new language. But if you really just want to focus on certain skills that you are not very good at, like speaking and listening, then it may actually be more efficient to use more specific drills that really just focus on those skills. An example of this would be watching or just listening to a podcast interview. As the podcast interviewer asks a question, you can just answer it as if they were asking the question to you and not the other person that they're interviewing on the podcast. And you can just try to answer all of the questions that the podcaster asks in a spontaneous way so you can express your thoughts, express your opinions as if you were having a real interview or a real conversation. This is going to focus way more on your conversational skills as opposed to all of the other skills that we have mentioned in English. And then if you really want to get specific and you just want to work on your pronunciation skills, you can simply just do the shadowing technique, which is just when you watch a video and you simply repeat after what the other person is saying. And you just try to mimic their pronunciation. Of course, you want to be watching a video that is done by a native English speaker and then just shadow what they say and repeat after them. So normally for people who are trying to improve all of their skills, I would recommend a broad drill that works everything at once and you can do it all within 30 minutes or less. But if you really just want to focus on speaking or listening or pronunciation specifically, I would recommend doing drills that specifically lock in to those individual skills. So to recap, if you want to eventually reach the C1 level of English with a study plan that takes you 30 minutes or less per day, then step number 1, identify the specific skills that you need to improve the most. Step number 2, strategically set aside some time to work on these individual skills or the individual skill. And then step number 3, use drills that will apply this skill or these skills effectively. The moral of the story is that you're going to need to be very intentional about how you study if you're only going to study 30 minutes a day or less and actually want to see progress and results over time. You will have to be super intentional about what you do with all your time. Again, it doesn't necessarily just matter about how many hours you put in. It matters what you put into the hours. Quality is way more important than quantity when it comes to learning a new language like English. If you found this video useful, please like the video so it can let the YouTube algorithm know that this video is useful for other English learners. And please leave a comment down below telling me where you're from and what your native language is. I'd be very, very curious to know. I'm always curious to know where you guys are from. And now you know what it means to study in a way that is actually effective. If you want to learn the main reason, the number one reason why you're probably stuck at the intermediate level of English, be sure to watch the next video on the screen.